Obviously, data is key in terms of making decisions on a day-to-day basis. Before we implemented the Jarvis system, we were having to manually pull data from multiple systems, which obviously by the time you pull everything together, it's hard to make a true real-time decision. So first and foremost, I'd recommend that any company trying to expand their business model or bring on more locations to make sure that they have a system in place to be able to accurately gather and generate real-time data so that they can go back to their practices, their partners out there in the field, and provide valuable insight with that data that's kind of real, fresh, real time. We have over 200 practices on the Jarvis platform, so the ability to be able to pull everything together and look across the entire platform across one system is key for us. Obviously, it wouldn't make a lot of sense for me to spend a lot of time digging into each individual location in a different kind of single site type system. So being able to aggregate our data, look at trends, look at any sort of positive indicators, negative indicators, and also using that data to be able to do internal benchmarking. So we can provide valuable insight to our partners of peer practices that are similar and how they're performing, what their metrics look like, how we can take their practice to a new level, and comparing some of that data across the entire company. So it's not only the business people in our company looking and using this data. Our partners are living in Jarvis on a day-to-day basis. Our operational teams live in Jarvis on a day-to-day basis. So we're able together with our clinical partners, our doctor owners, to sit down and use some of this data to help make informed decisions. We give our doctor partners a significant amount of full autonomy, obviously 100% on the clinical side of their business, but also on making day-to-day business decisions. And we're able to take data from Jarvis and help teach them how to utilize it, how to make good decisions, so they're truly empowered to be running their individual practices. I always kind of use the term field versus real with our partners, and I think everyone likes to use data and insights, but ultimately we don't always have the best information in front of us, or our partners historically, prior to kind of joining our platform, maybe have not had the best information in front of them to make those decisions. So it is exciting to see how many of them take to the cause to really dig in and understand what metrics are, what data that they ultimately like to be viewing to help make them make decisions. And then the progression, week over week, month over month, year over year, of how we start to be able to make more informed decisions in the practices with our partners. So we utilize Jarvis during our due diligence process as we're looking at acquisition opportunities. So with those potential acquisition opportunities, we'll actually plug the system in. We'll start pulling data. We're able to aggregate and look at data on new acquisition opportunities in the same format that we view our business on. And so it eliminates some of the time constraints of a potential seller or partner of trying to gather a bunch of PDF reports, piece together information. We can quickly access the system, access what we need to see, and then start those discussions with the potential partner about where there's opportunity in their business, where there's potential performance gaps in their business, and it allows us to make a quick, clear, decisive decision on whether or not that might be a good opportunity for our business. And vice versa, it might be a good opportunity for that individual partner to join a company like ours. Obviously it's been an extremely beneficial tool through this entire process, not only obviously as our practices begin to reopen towards that recovery, in the process as state mandates and everything was changing, getting an understanding what was taking place across, we're in 13 states. So each state had, different intricacies with mandates, regulations, and ensuring that we had valuable insight across the board as things were winding down and moving towards that emergency only model. And then even more importantly, as the business has been reopened, having valuable insight and day-to-day information, real-time information to see how we're performing, what tweaks and changes we need to make as the businesses continue to reopen, what insight we can provide to our partners and what we're seeing in terms of patient demand, no-shows, cancellations, those sort of things to get a better understanding of what the new normal looks like. I would say always be looking for a system that, number one, you have the reliability of the data and knowing that the people behind building these platforms, building the dashboards, understand the business. And I think Jarvis has done a fantastic job of really learning the industry, learning the space, and adapting so we can make sure collectively coming up with ideas of what the best information to be looking at and ensuring that it's 100% reliable. And then secondly, again, it's somewhat of a partnership when you enter into any sort of software company or software as a service company. Justin Carroll, COO of MB2 Dental, and we're powered by Jarvis.